Do you want to make more sales? Do you want to close like a closer? Then you need to be like me, the ultimate sales machine. I'm going to show you how you can make lots of money and get sales by being the closer you're meant to be, because your life and your family depends on you closing that sale. So here's what you need to do. You need to get that and you need to sell. Do not let them leave, and you need to be the closer you're meant to be.
So let's be honest, would you buy from that sort of pushy car salesperson, yeah? Do you think that is the right way that people should be trained in sales? Let me tell you, over 20 years of selling very high ticket items, these can range from $100,000 a year programs up to $2 million programs. Nobody is going to buy from the person like at the start of this video. So how do you need to be to make sure that you are doing the right thing? Well, the first thing to know is that you need a model. You need a structure that you can guide somebody through, giving you full confidence in the sale and giving them full confidence. See, people don't buy for two reasons. One, because they don't think they will get the outcome from you. And two, they don't think that you can deliver that outcome. So you have to go through a certain structure, certain steps along their customer journey to make sure that these two things are ticked off. I'm going to give you those steps today. So make sure you grab a pen and take lots of notes, because this sales strategy will make you a lot of money. I'm Dr. Lewis Haydon, coach to very, very high income earners. The first step is to understand their outcome, not what you do. You see, it's easy to talk about what you do, and people think that they just keep making lots of statements and you must say this and you must do these words and they will buy. No, it's not the case, yeah? People don't really give a shit about your features and your benefits. They care about the outcome that they have after working with you. So stop making it about you and start making it about their goals. Start to understand what are the outcomes that they will have after working with you. You really need to get clear and under the skin into their brain of understanding their perspective of the world and how this outcome will start to help them. So here's what you need to do. Stop focusing on the features and the benefits of your products. Focus on their outcome. Ask them the question. You want to get them emotionally invested. So if you can get them to start thinking about their future, get them to think about what this outcome really means for them, get them more emotionally invested. You see, people buy on logic and emotion. Sometimes people say, hey, look, people don't buy on logic, they buy on emotion. No, they buy on both. They buy on emotion in the moment, and then they justify it with logic. So you need to have both parts of this sales, the emotional and logical one, okay? You need to have both elements of it. So the first step is to flip the script a little bit, okay? Talk about where they want to be, and by using you and your services or your product, whatever it may be, what outcome does that give them? Step 2 is that you need to ask the right questions. Like I said in the first start, if you want to really get into their brain and understand what the outcome is and how that will change their future, then you need to stop thinking that you've got a crystal fucking ball here. You actually need to ask them some questions. So it's time to dig deep and ask your prospect what is really important to them. Get them talking about their motivators, their drivers, what is important in life. Your product or service really help them move forward. And you've also got to be prepared here. Here's a secret tip for you guys. Be prepared not to make the sale. The more that you make it about them and the right decision for them, the more that you will close high ticket sales. Remember, this video isn't just about closing everything. It's about closing very high ticket sales. So you need to make sure that they feel certainty and confidence that you're making it about them. So sometimes you got to also be able to say, hey, look, I don't think this is right for you. Or why do you think that you need to use me? Yeah, get them to tell you all these things. So here's the questions that I want you to try in figuring out how ingrained they are about and serious about their future and using your product or service to get there. So here's a few questions. Write these down. Number 1, why is this outcome important to you? Very simple. Just ask them the question. Why is it important to you that you achieve this outcome? Number 2, how would your life change by achieving this? Number 3, what triggered triggered you in the first place to come and speak to me today? You see, what those questions do is that it's ingraining the future into them to really think about where they want to get to and also where the blocker is in today's world, okay? So there's a reason why they've reached out to you, because there's a pain point. They're fed up of being where they are now and they want to get to a certain place. So your job as a sales professional is to figure out where that place is, where they are now, and how you start to bridge that gap. And remember, a little secret tip here, the more they talk, the more they give away, the more they are emotionally invested in this outcome and wanting to solve the problem. And you are ultimately the problem solver. So the stuff I've just spoke about there, by the way, if you do want a model of how you can start to ask those questions and ask deeper questions, and you want an exercise that can start to give you that bridge and understand that more, it's available in my ebook. There's a template in there. Just go and grab that ebook. It's in the description below. It's free for now. Just go and get your copy and you'll have a visual that you can work through in how you create massive value that you can then get them to see how you're the solution. So step 3 is finding out what they've tried before. You see, this is even deeper. It's all about the questions, and the more questions that you ask, the more that they start to understand where they actually are. You see, they don't know. They think they know, but you're the professional that has took people through this journey before. So you understand it better than they actually do. So what you need to do is ask things like this. What steps have you taken before? Why didn't that work out for you? What would you do differently next time? So you're asking about their learnings, and what they're actually doing then is that they're opening the door for you to position yourself as a guide to them. Remember, the definition of a salesperson that you want to be is to professionally help them to make the right decision so that they can move forward and get the outcome that they want. Now, step 4 is that you need to create urgency by addressing failure. Now, I don't mean like the person at the start of the video. He was making too many statements. What you need to do is get them to recognize the urgency. So the way that you do this is by asking Socratic questions. Socratic questions is also in my ebook, by the way. So if you want the template for this, it's in the ebook if you go and download it in the description below. It'll help you get your Socratic questions out so you can become more influential. So how do you create urgency without actually saying buy now, buy now, buy now? Well, you can ask these sort of questions, okay? What happens if you don't get this outcome is a perfect one, yeah? It may be a little bit simple. That's level 1. If you want to go a little bit deeper, ask things like, what will happen if you don't achieve this? Let them talk, let them talk. And the secret question here, by the way, is at the end of everything that they say, get them to go deeper. Just say, can you tell me more about that? Can you tell me more about that? Tell me more, tell me more. The more that they tell you, the more that they're opening up to give you the information, not so you can use it against them, but you need to understand this so you know that your product is right for them and you're coaching them towards a decision. Then you could also ask them, how will life look if you don't do this? Yeah? What will life look like? Well, Lewis, it'll be the same as it is today. Time doesn't stand still. And next thing you know, we never know what's around the corner. I'm a little bit worried about that. You can then say even deeper, is that something you're concerned about? Then it's the tell me more stuff even more. You see, you've got to get really good at these questions, okay? So again, if you want that model, go and get it in the ebook. It's called Socratic Questions. Just do the search for that and it comes up with that whole chapter on Socratic questioning. So the reason for this, by the way, is it builds urgency and drives the importance of why this is important to do it today. Look, you never know what's around the corner. I hate to be morbid on this video, but people drop dead. People aren't who they are tomorrow because of circumstances. So there's nothing wrong with being a little bit pushy, but it's how you frame it. Here's a pro tip. Don't frame being pushy. Frame that you're coaching them to a decision. You're helping them move forward and solve that outcome. Solve the problem today so they can achieve the outcome that they want faster and sooner rather than in 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 times, or never even happen. They need your help for you to coach them through it so they can make the most informed decision that they can. Now, step 5 is a real big one that a lot of people miss out on. And here it is. They might be scared. They might not have ever done this before. They may not have ever made a purchase decision. They may not have ever used your consulting service. They may not have ever done your fitness coaching program. They may have never lost this amount of weight in a certain period of time. They may have never used this sort of accountant before. You see, no matter what service or product it is, they've never done this before. So it's scary for them. It may seem normal for you, but for them, it's a little bit scary. So what you have to do is hold their hand. Offer a simple, low-risk step to work with you first. They don't know who Lewis Haydon is. So the first step is to just take some time with them and hold their hand. Now, don't get me wrong, depending on their personality profile, they may do the opposite. I'm the sort of person that just dives straight in, takes the learnings. Sometimes I lose money on it, but the learnings that I get are phenomenal. So I could spend £20,000 or $20,000 on a program and then not get the results, but I've had lots of information, lots of learning. So what is actually the result? Is it the outcome you get now or the outcome that you're going to get in 5 years from the learning from it? So just ask yourself that. How do you take somebody through your process towards your service? Maybe you could show them a few things for free. Maybe you could offer them a few free sessions. Maybe you could give them something for free that helps them just move forward a little bit, but won't get them to the major outcome, which is obviously how you work and sell your product. So a pro tip here is you want them to suggest that you could be the solution. So you remember the Socratic questioning stuff we mentioned in the earlier steps. The Socratic questioning allows you, there's a video on this as well, by the way, I've done, just go and search through my channel and you'll see something about Socratic questioning. Socratic questioning allows you to make it their idea, not yours. So you could ask a question without hammering them, because this video is about not being a pushy salesperson. The way to do that is to get them to tell you that you're the solution. So you could say, okay, so what would be your first steps in achieving this? And they could turn around and go, well, it's meeting with you, Lewis. Okay, what would you expect to get from today to help you move forward? Well, I'd expect to get a plan that how I can help to move forward and make a lot more money. So what do you think the next steps would be? Well, it's to work with you, Lewis. You see what I mean? They are saying it. You're not just telling them and being that pushy salesperson from the start of this video. So that's a pro tip. You got to get good at that. And like I say, if you want to get really good at it, practice your Socratic questioning. You probably won't find much about it on the internet, by the way, because it's a big research project that I've been working through. And the evidence is there. It's all backed. I don't just make any BS up. You can go and check it out in the ebook. Just get your copy in the description below. So there you are then. That's the way of how to close high-ticket clients without feeling like a salesy sleazeball. Focus on asking the right questions. Get them to tell you so it's not you just making a lot of statements and pushing. Create the urgency by getting them to commit to what sort of challenges what it would mean to them. Yeah, the more that they talk, the more emotionally invested they are, the more that they will feel supported by you. And remember, they are not going to do your product if they do not feel understood. So a lot of these questions will help you get through that so they feel invested, they feel understood, and they feel that you are the solution, not just for the outcome, but you can confidently deliver that outcome for them as well. So if you want to dive deeper, check the next video, by the way, and I'll create a breakdown of how you create irresistible offers that practically sell themselves. If you want to go and check out that video, click here now and go and watch that, because it's really important that you start to build this process into your services and your products. So go and check out that video now of how to craft irresistible offers that practically sell themselves. Catch you on that next video.